So you're hoping more for a jet seed than for an ag tile room kind of seed.
Yeah, I have a 7 p.m. board meeting, and I need this to be a jet seed and Discord to start working right.
Yeah, well, we'll watch out. It looks like here we go.
There we go.
So we're off to the races, and let's see what the first treasure chest has. The Lagmarang is the first thing we get, so we kind of get a first initial weapon to help out here.
Actually, not a bad thing to find. You're going to be able to check your stun prize, and if you get a magic weapon like Fire Rod and your stun prize is magic pots, then you're set. Or if you get bombs as your stun prize, then you're set on bombs. So, the one situation where that boomerang isn't absolute junk.
I completely agree with you on that one, because the stun would be an amazing help for them. So let's see what Uncle has. And it's the Fire Rod. I called it. Woohoo!
As long as you get the magic or a nice early bomb drop, then Fire Rod is absolutely good. Especially later on when you're trying to, if you have to clear Agate Tower or something like that, you can Fire Rod and everything. That's always fun.
Yeah, and it also gives you easy access to complete Desert Palace and Death Mountain Tower that I can't remember the name of all of a sudden.
Tower of Hera.
Yeah, there we go. I completely mind blanked.
I wonder what that got named after. I mean, Eastern Palace makes sense. It's in the East. Palace of Darkness, okay, you go in there without a lamp, you're kind of screwed. But Tower of Hera, like, where's that come from?
I don't know.
So it's like Tower of Moldorm would make sense, but like Death Mountain Tower, that would make sense.
Or Mountain Tower, but yeah, you're right. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense there. I would be interested to see where the naming came from.
If I had thought about these questions years ago, my whole life could have taken a different path. I would have known what Hera meant.
Yeah, that would have definitely made a lot of people continue. I'm surprised we haven't seen many trips to try picking up some bombs yet, so they can do backup escape, or if they're just going to forego it for now.
Well, you need to save 2 shots, one for that green guard, one for the blue, and you're probably going to use one for the ball and chain guy just to save time. Probably see them gamble a little bit more once they get Zelda. They'll probably drain their magic on the green guards, maybe save one for the ropes. That's fairly standard.
Yeah, I was just kind of intrigued that, like you were saying, we haven't even seen a sun prize check or anything like that. So I'm just interested to see what they'll do here shortly.
Yeah, well, and one thing to keep in mind too is that these enemies are the prize pools for all the enemies are randomized, so you can see 1 seed and a green guard will have 8 bomb packs, and next seed you kill 100 of them and you'll never see a bomb. Also, there's different prize pools from different enemies, so green guards might not have anything, but the rats, they might have nothing but 8 bomb packs.
Yeah, I know. That randomization of the prize packs was a nice little add to the game to help make it just that much more interesting. As we see both Trident and Hahasell pretty much even, going back, returning the princess back to the cathedral here. And we see our first attempts at trying to pick up some bombs there, with them smashing some pots on some heads.
Yeah, that's a great hallway. You can kill 2 on the way down and 2 on the way back using those pots. The hearts don't respawn, but the pots do.
Yeah, which is nice, like you were saying, because the pots are really overpowered in this game and take out enemies very easily. our snake hallway here. Nope, no.
Oh,
Attempts.
yeah, missed opportunity there. You can get three or four snakes with one fire rod shot.
Yeah, no, I was expecting someone to fire off a fire rod there, because like you said, they're so clustered you can get multiple of them.
Yeah, and we've already seen the map, so everything left is items. So without a bomb, they'll be passing three guaranteed items in the back of escape here. Hash going for the small magic pot down there. Trident looks like he's just given up on bombs. Gonna be committed to coming back here later.
Well, at least he's committed to it, but we'll see. It doesn't. I'm not. Oh, he's trying to.
The last shot of hope. Wow, Hash doesn't even want to use his last shot. He's done.
Looks like he's gonna go straight to Kakariko here and just pick up that last thing. Oh, we see. Nope, he just stunned him. He didn't have a way to kill him. Never mind.
What's the pronunciation there? Because I was saying Hash. I was seeing the second name. Is it Haha? Like what's his short name for that?
It's Hahasell, so I'd go with Haha or Ha. Would be what I would do it, but I'm with you. When I first looked at it, I thought it was Hosh also.
I don't want to say haha all day long.
Well, that is what he decided to name himself, so we could always say Cell or Haha or Hahasell. I don't know. We'll see.
Trident is going to be Trident, and Hahasell is just going to be Squirtle.
I guess we'll run with that then.
I'm using backup names instead of left side, right side.
Hey, if that works and you can keep it straight, more power to you. Let's see if we get a kill. Oh, there's a bomb.
Yeah, a little bit late though. Blue rupees on our tier 2 tree prize. Haha going for the skipping Kakariko altogether, picking up bombs from the bomb shop and going straight to the dam. Makes sense if you don't have any bombs and you don't want to farm for them on the southern Kak route.
Well, not only that, but he's also doesn't have enough to purchase bombs, so he's definitely making a decent run because it'll give him more chances to get more money to purchase them when he hits Kakariko.
Well, he did buy those 10 east of Link's house.
Yeah, but we see Trident over here. He's got already almost 200, so he's able to pick up multiple sets of bombs if he needs to.
Yeah, Trident did give us our look at the crab prize, which is red rupees. So nice way to farm some money off those guys. Also took a peek in the lumberjack cave, just a trash item. So not going to need Aga unless we need Aga also for Dark World access.
Well, that's one win in your column for so far, but we'll continue to see. Let's see if it continues for you.
And Trident keeps stunning things, but has no way to actually kill them to check the stun price, other than wasting a bomb. Oh wow, an 8 bomb and a 1 bomb after buying bombs. Everywhere but in the escape.
That is a typical kind of thing, is you buy bombs and then all of a sudden you're rewarded with them. And we get some boots to go fast and a flute, so definitely this route makes more sense.
Yeah, Trident picking up the Moon Pearl there in Blindside. Definitely not something that Ha is going to skip. Obviously, he's going to go back to Kakariko. But the boots in the flute there definitely give him a routing advantage. Going to be able to get the library item immediately if it's worth it, and activate that flute on his first trip.
Completely agreed there, though. With the way Trident's going, if he so chooses, he'll be able to go ahead and we get a first look with 5-6 crystal at Hera, and it looked like it pendant at Eastern.
And Haha so far doing a good job avoiding the Satan crabs there. 1 hit away from death.
Yeah, those crabs are... Ooh, and Canis Maria. Nice pulling over on that side. And we get our first bottle, so Trident will be able to activate Sick Kid.
And our second medallion.
Now we have Quake and Ether, so all we need is Bombos, and we won't have to worry about any kind of requirements because we'll have it all.
So, Haha picked up Ether Max.
Desert was just a regular crystal, so we're gonna see some interesting plays here once we finish up our things here. As we see Haha picking up the bonk rocks there, but it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I like that Haha is still doing this northern route here. This knowledge, you know, I think it's invaluable. Definitely worth the time to check this location.
Completely agree, and then it makes this lumberjack cave check a little bit quicker that they have the boots now.
Yeah, you just see the difference, you know, between Haha just dashing around and Trident just walking everywhere. It's sometimes you forget how much more fun the boots are. Oh, and that, wow, Hammer being in the library. This is really working out well for Haha.
Yeah, that's a big plus for his routing, is being able to pick up that hammer right away. That gives him a second weapon there. That will be a nice advantage.
Yeah, a weapon that doesn't run out of ammo.
Completely true, and it does a tempered damage, so it's not a shabby weapon to beat people up with.
Yeah, there is a mode of this randomizer that is entirely swordless, which is essentially just the general game removes the two curtains that you can't get through without swords and lets you damage Ganon with the swords and use medallions. But like other than that, you could play the regular games with just the hammer.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that happen before. I know Andy did a swordless reverse boss order at, I want to say, this last AGDQ, but I'm not sure.
Oh, this last one had the Andy Christos swordless
That's
race.
right. It was last SGDQ, that's right.
Yeah, so Trident is absolutely going to finish the southern route, head back, activate his flute, and pick up that hammer. No doubt about it.
Yeah,
you don't forget the hammer.
No, you don't. And that's just kind of willful or gameful for Haha, because his routing paid off so much for him here that there's just a small Trident time loss there. But it won't be too big of a thing, and we'll still see a catch up, I'm sure.
Trident skipping out on Ice Rod Cave for now, checking the Zora area. Has enough money for Zora, and with the Moon Pearl, we'll be able to get the Hobo item, the 2 waterfall items, knowledge of the ledge item, and Lake Hylia. The knowledge, at least, if they're not valuable, doesn't have to come back here. But could potentially be missing out on that Kena Samaria for a long time if he doesn't go to Ice Rock Cave.
It depends, because once he picks up his flute and activates it, I'm sure he'll be ready to rock and roll. But I didn't see him hit the mini Moldworm Cave, so I don't know when that will be. But it will definitely be advantageous for him to do that.
Did he just walk past? He didn't check mini Moldworm Cave?
I don't think so, but then again, I could have just been listening to you and totally spaced out.
Chat, did we miss Trident checking mini Moldworm Cave? Like, are we really that bad? We are actually, in fact, that bad.
Oh, well, I guess then we'll just accept that and apologize for our lack of observational skills.
Well, I mean, you know, he doesn't have a weapon other than bombs. to kill them with. He could go to Ice Rod Cave and then get it on the way back. But yeah, that could be a major time loss. I mean, that was our boots, our flute, which led to our hammer. That was all of our progression there.
I completely agreed, and so that will definitely come into play. See a heart there on the race game. Let's see what we get from the Moon Pearl here.
Nothing in the Waterfall Fairy, and Trident is definitely gonna get there eventually. Not too long, but even a 2 or 3 minute gap can make a difference if it's a close race.
I completely agree, because we've seen things come all the way down to the 3. Ooh, and an ice rod there. That will come into play if he can do a water walk down there, but I don't know if he can.
He can't get it now. You need boots to buffer a water walk. But he has the knowledge of it, so he'll either be able to come back here with flippers. Most likely, he'll just wait for flippers, unless both ice and swamp are pendants, and flippers are hard to find. There's really no reason to go through all the work in setting up that double fake flipper. But blue mail, that's nice value. I'd pay 500 rupees for blue mail.
I agree. That helps you make it a little bit better there. And as we see Haha go ahead and begin his eastern dip. Let's see what Trident will do since he didn't finish his south dip.
So are Squirtles supposed to be able to swim? I mean, not all turtles can swim. Some turtles, they just like to walk on the beach and be near water. Actually,
Squirtle is a surfing Pokemon, so yes, he should be able to surf. So him jumping in the water and falling down is kind of hilarious when you think about it.
I would love to see a game mode where, I mean, not a tournament mode, of course. Oh, versus Sword and Sasha's Hut. But I'd love to see a casual game mode where the sprites themselves gain some inherent abilities, like being able to swim or something. That'd be fun.
That would be especially interesting, especially when you throw in Samus and Fox and things like that. Or Sonic just always have boots. You don't have to find them.
Exactly. I always play as Vivi, so give Vivi infinite fire rod shots.
Exactly. That would be amazing. That's actually something that we'll throw over at VTorp and make him start progressing and figuring it out.
Yeah, not for tournaments, because everyone's going to pick the boots. But just for casual play.
Though I'd be interested to see what kind of ability they would give the pug, just to see how they could mess with Andy.
They would give the boots to the pug. Otherwise, 1,000 people would riot.
I'm sure, because they want to see the hover Andy. So I kind of agree with you on that. Or give him exponentially high gravity so he can't hover.
Yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Pugs aren't the fastest dog, so the pug, they get double walk speed, but they can never run. I love that. No, that's what Andy deserves. Double walk speed, can never ever pick up the boots.
That would be hilarious. Just replace it with another single arrow, just so he knows when it comes up that, oh, that was my boots. One of those random times that skeleton room has 3 skeletons in it. That's interesting.
Yeah, you can have between 0 and 4, and so 3 is not the worst. I guess you gotta stay positive.
I agree. Just
yeah, man, you can really see. I always find it ironic that Eastern is one of the dungeons where having boots makes the biggest difference, because you're not ever supposed to have boots here. But there's all of these hallways that are just perfect for dashing. Hahasell taking advantage of those. He got a spin speed off the big key pillar.
You can definitely run around with that. That will keep you progressing pretty well.
Successfully damaged boosts off the Popo and doesn't die. I respect that.
Then he does an intentional kill to warp back to the beginning so he can flute out of here because you see him already equipped the flute there. Or
Yeah, that's
ocarina.
It's the flute.
Ooh, we're going up to Death Mountain, so let's go find our old man.
Well, not too much you can do up here. I don't really think that this is a progression play. I think this is more for unlocking the checkpoint and being able to get full health refills and flute away quicker for future progression.
Actually, this is something I found out the other day when I was messing around. You don't have to rescue the old man to get the health refill from him. Because if you walk into that cave before you rescue him, he's still there to give you the refill.
But you can't start there until you rescue him. Like, you don't get that as a save continue option. I never knew that he was actually in the cave without hiding out. That's creepy. Like, so if you flute up there, you look in there, you see him there, and then you go in the cave, and then like somehow he gets ahead of you.
Yeah, because
and lost.
No, I was too, because I was trying to recover him, but I failed at the dark room, so I just decided to take a shortcut through there. And come to find out, he was standing there. I'm like, that's not creepy at all.
I really feel sorry for Tridenttail. I mean, he didn't come in here earlier because he only had bombs to kill these guys. He only had 4. So the first thing he gets is 8 bomb drop, and the second thing he gets is a 1 bomb drop.
And look at that, haha, getting our first lift upgrade there. That is awesome for Spectacle Rock.
More importantly, that is his Dark World access. So we know what the Lumberjack item is, so this is not an AGA required seed, and my 6:45 departure time hype still lives.
Yep, and as we're up, we're seeing Trident finally go get his
he's doing a spike cave. It's Hosh doing spike cave with just a bottle. Wow.
No safeties or anything. This is gutsy.
He's potioning his way through it. I don't even know if you can do it with that few hearts in a potion.
Well, we're gonna see, so let's see what he can figure out here.
Nope. No, not gonna do it. Not gonna make it.
Yeah, if he'd have had 1 heart more, I think he'd have been able to make it, but nope, not today.
And that's a horrible way to lose a potion.
Yeah, I know, because that could have been used for pod. Looks like we're gonna go see some hype cave, see if it's still hype or if it's just been reduced to Nick cave.
Yeah, this will be our first. Hopefully, we'll get a map check here, and we'll actually get to see what the the crystals are. With the Fire Rod and the Hammer, a Skullwoods Thieves Town combo really makes a lot of sense. Skullwoods, okay, so we got Skullwoods is a pendant, Turtle Rock is a pendant, the green pendant, and I didn't see. Oh, third one is Eastern.
Eastern was a 5/6 crystal also, so the rest of them are just regular crystals.
You mean Pod was a crystal?
Or, yeah, Pod, sorry.
Trident picking up his hammer. Hopefully he also makes the play to find his gloves. Fortunately, without a lamp, a sword, or a cape, there's no way for him to do AGA, so at least he's not being led in the wrong direction.
Completely agree. Let's go see what Stumpy has to give us today. just some arrows, so nothing to put him on a watch list for. So let's go ahead, check Thieves Town or Village of Outcasts.
Put him on the watch list?
Yeah, I've seen some commentators like Dr. Bob Tastic who say like the hobo or something should be put on a bomb watch list because he has a bomb for you to pick up and whatnot.
I say that if the hobo has triple bombs and he's sleeping under support pillars for a bridge, then he's up to no good. But old Stumpy there, he's harmless. You can give him bombos, he won't do anything bad with it.
Yeah, and besides, once you take it from him, in vanilla game, he turns into a tree root, so it's not like his life expectancy is very big.
And another 5-hour upgrade from digging game with a lot of digs. So Southern Dark Route is basically where you go if you want to finish this game with 70 arrows.
Where is Haha gonna head out to now? Oh, we're gonna see the back of Escape now. Let's see what 3 items show up here.
Oh, flippers. Alright, well,
The
sword
Master
upgrade.
Sword. Nice. Cannot go wrong there. Nope. Trident's gonna flute away. I was hoping he might check it while he was there also.
So sword being there, it kind of, you have to pause and wonder for a second, did my opponent pick up a bomb and find the sword and, have an execution advantage on me up until now? Because it was, it was a little while before they found their first sword.
Yeah, that is an interesting conundrum to worry about, but you can't linger on it too much because that will start to affect your playability.
Yeah, they found the other sword soon enough that I don't think there was really any place that it could have really affected you for more than a few seconds.
Yeah, I agree on that one. As we see, it looks like Haha is going to be heading into the Skull Woods or Thieves Town shortly. Or maybe just Village of Outcasts. We'll see what is Trident off to do. Trident's going to be picking up his sword upgrade also, if that's what he's doing.
Well, skipping Skull Woods, it's a popular play to go there. Usually the items are easy to check, but with it being a pendant, there's enough open to them at this point. Mirror's a nice find.
Yeah, that was a nice mirror game find. I'd pay 100 rubies for it. Definitely keep trucking along there. Let's see what we get out of the bombable fight here.
I'm just glad not to see a double tip TR with Mirror and Mimic Cave again.
Did you see the race the other night where it was a triple dip into Turtle Rock to complete it?
I saw one that was a quadruple dip because they made a mistake, but not a triple dip required. There's so many races that they all blend together, so I probably saw it.
Yeah, it was one dip into Turtle Rock to get the boots, and then another dip into Turtle Rock to get the bow to unlock Eastern Pod, and then they finally got the ice rod, and then they could work the third dip. They were able to complete it. It was ridiculous.
That makes sense. Really frustrating, I can imagine.
Yeah, I know, because climbing up and down that mountain, definitely working out the calves for them. Ooh, and a Titan mix.
Did Trident freeze?
I don't know if he froze or what, because no, yeah, I think he was thinking.
Looked like he was frozen.
No, he's moving now, so I think he just was in a brain fart mode, which would probably be half of my game.
Probably didn't immediately realize that glove gave him the Darkwood access.
Yeah.
he is back on track.
Yeah, he was probably updating his tracker, and that's what took him a minute to actually continue there. But I can completely understand that, because half of my game is sitting going, well, George, where am I going next? What do I have access to that I can actually do?
So, no divergence here. Trident taking the same route that Haha took. Southern Dark World going to bottleneck him as well once he reaches digging game, and I expect that he'll probably do the same northern route as opposed to venturing into pod or some place that's more of a bigger gamble.
I agree on that one. And then once Haha finishes up Thieves Town here, I'd be interested to see where he goes, since he could finish out like Graveyard Ledge and things like that now that he has the mirror. So I'm interested to see what he does.
Yeah, and Trident wasted absolutely 0 seconds in proving me wrong. Not going the digging game, going to do a pyramid check. After this, pod or catfish? Where do you think he's going to go? What's up?
Given the fact that he's been doing the out of the way things, I'm going with catfish.
Yeah, I think I see Trident as kind of more of a completionist.
Yeah, and also to knock out all these out of the way things quicker means you can mark them off and forget about them. And it looks like catfish is the play. Meanwhile, we have Haha just zooming right through Thieves Town here, picking up his Titan's mitts as the only thing I've seen of value so far.
There were Titans there in Thieves Town?
Yeah, it was the first one, I want to say, the first chest. So, given that, I want to say Blind has an item on them.
So we'll just need a tracker if you can update that.
And the catfish is giving out some money, so no real big gifts there. Let's see how well we can get this out of here, because it's a very straight fight. Normally, blink and you'll miss the blind fight. Pizza joke. Well, yes, we'll take a pizza joke.
Flying nice first round, nice second round. I fell down there, but not too bad.
Well, looks like Trident's going to join us there in the Dark World here in Village of Outcasts, as Haha finishes up Blind very nicely. And just under 33 minutes, we get our first crystal and dungeon completion. So, what is Haha going to do aside from finish out the village, I believe? Getting a little bit longer of a check there. Ooh, I'm gonna Jeremiah venture. There we go. So let's see what the Smiths have for us, and then go into the lunchbox of Gary. Oh, I completely forgot to say Peg Cave here. Let's see what Peg Cave has. Trident getting his useful mirror there. Peg Cave just having a big 20, no big deal.
There we go. Got mids showing up. I am absolutely lost without the tracker, so thank you, Maxi Mini.
That is the true hard job of this race, is keeping track of these people, because it can really get hectic there, especially when you have some divergence in big ticket areas like Hype Cave and whatnot.
Oh, it was red mail clicked instead of mitts. Yeah, I blame these Squirtles, because they it's hard to. They don't clearly indicate what color they're wearing. Like they're already pretty blue.
Well, as you see, Squirtle over here, well, that was his dark, or his bunny cave, which is the Ashes Squirrel with the sunglasses there. But that was pretty cool. I forgot that happened.
Yeah,
But normally his shell changes color, and that's what it is.
That bunny mode Squirtle looked really evil.
Well, if you ever watched the cartoon, which I know you said you didn't, he originally was an evil kind of Squirtle where he was going around causing trouble for everyone. So the leader of the Squirtle squad there that eventually came to be Ashes and eventually led to lead the Squirtle squad as a fireman eventually.
I don't know whether to praise you or mock you that you know the backstory so well. I'm kind of split, to be honest.
Well, like I said, I grew up with it, so you can do whatever. I'm not going to really be too upset about it.
I'll go with praise you. It's impressive.
And then I started watching it all over again when my kids became of age, so, you know, whatever. I'll take either or. As my wife from the other room, Real's basement dweller.
Nice. I think that's the first time I've ever seen anybody flute to 6 instead of 7 and turn in the purple chest. That's pretty neat.
And we get our first update here. See what that, and it's the Quake coin, Bacon coin, Wavy coin, whatever you want to call it. But we have it, so we can get some Misery Mire action if we want to.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Haha go in there because he's focusing on clearing dungeons.
Yeah,
and that's when he can clear.
And then we just picked up Bombo, so no matter what, we've got access to Turtle Rock here.
Yeah, might do Desert first, also a dungeon he can full clear, and maybe pick up a few extra items to make Mire easier. But wow, yeah, everything's lining up. And then, of course, a Tempered Sword.
Definitely can't go wrong with Tempered. Just bust out the bacon-flavored sword and keep trudging through here.
Well, Ha's going to be spending the next 10-15 minutes in the Mire area, that's for sure.
Completely agree. I wonder if he's been training here to do his Mire glitch that just got found the other day.
Probably not. It definitely requires some setup, and I think you have to do like directly Mire, so I think going even in the desert here might ruin it, but I didn't see him do the setup.
And the key for key exchange most likely going to happen here. And let's go. Oh no, 300. So the small key is going to be in the middle chest there, and the mimic room, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of desert seeds that have been boost locked lately, it seems.
Yeah, and that can definitely be an interesting conundrum, is where the boots at. Because I've seen some of them that were boots locked where boots did not show up until way later in the seed.
So this is a very generous seed. It feels a little bit like potentially slow, being almost 40 minutes in and only having 1 crystal, but they have the items they need, so the progression is really going to start going faster now. I mean, Haha is going to pick up 2 crystals here in short order, and after that, let's see, where's a good place to go after that? Well, he can full clear Tower of Hera, Fake Flipper to Ice Palace, could clear that if they wanted to.
It will be definitely interesting to see where he goes to play after this, because it's just a good, interesting change up there, because like you said, he's got several options there. And we still haven't seen any flippers. I know the ice rod showed up, but I completely forgot where it was.
Yeah, bow, flippers, and hookshot are the only items that we know we're absolutely still going to need. Ice rod, lamp is optional if they can execute those dark rooms. Ice rod's optional if they don't kill Trinex. The 2 invincibility items are probably optional as well.
And if you blinked, you missed Haha's Landmolus kill there, because that was a fairly clean one cycle.
That's a good point. Reminded that we do know where ice is, even if we don't want it. It's on Zora's ledge.
That's right, that's where it was, I couldn't remember.
Yeah, you gotta take notes during this stuff, because it's so easy to forget. Or you can just, say, hey tracker, where was that item? Hey chat, where was that item? That's the lazy approach.
Yeah, it depends on the day of whether you want to be proactive or let someone else do your job for you.
Oh, always the latter.
Having the chat involvement is always a plus, because they are what really makes these matches. It's not me, you, or the runners, it's the chat.
So I actually considered a proposal to take notes of where all the key items were found and make a spreadsheet that would show you progression and everything like that. And it was pointed out to me by much smarter people than that would take away from all the chat interaction, and that's what makes a lot of the races fun.
Exactly. If we don't involve the chat, then what's the point of having them there? Because that's why we've invented the different games to involve chat, especially the Ganon Big Key and the occasional Aghanim Blue Balls.
Absolutely. So my current approach is, I'll submit to the hive mind. Ignorance is bliss. Chat rules us all.
Correct, because even when you are the all-knowing tracker, chat will always be there to back you up if you accidentally mark something wrong. Or, in the more harshest case, they'll be there to ridicule you, like happened to me on my first tracking gig.
So, question from chat: what's the difference? What do the red crystals mean? Good question. In the vanilla game, the 2 red crystal dungeons unlock the red bomb that you can purchase from the bomb hut, which lets you get into the Great Pyramid. That's how you get your silver arrows and your 4th sword upgrade. In the randomizer mode, any of the crystal dungeons can be the 5-6 crystals. In this case, it's Tower of Hera and Palace of Darkness instead of what's it normally? I don't even remember what the vanilla ones are.
I want to say Swamp and Ice is my 2, but I could be wrong.
Swamp is 2. Misery Mire and Ice, then, I guess. That'd be 5-6.
I'll take your word for it, because it's been a minute since I've played vanilla.
I'm thinking back to NMG, but it's been a while since I've actually gotten the silver arrows or the gold. Swamp is dungeon number 2, isn't it? Yeah, it's Ice Misery Mire.
Okay.
Swamp is supposed to be 2. No one does Swamp 2nd, but everyone does Thieves Town 2nd for Tempered Sword.
Yeah, and Myth's upgrade.
That Myth's up, yeah, which leads to Tempered Sword. Well, anyway, once they complete Tower of Hera and Palace of Darkness, they'll be able to purchase the red bomb and open up the Pyramid Fairy, which in this game can have 2 random items. Will not be the silver arrows and the butter sword. At least not the silvers, because we already have the silvers. Could still be a sword upgrade though.
Yeah, and depending on how you look at it, how you throw your bottle, it could be a 3rd item. Could give you green or blue goo or red goo. Or a fairy.
Wow, Trident just got in the hole there in time. That hand was coming down, almost grabbed them. Doing well with this Mothula. Master Sword Mothula, not too big a deal. Normally 4 Tempered Sword slashes, which is the same as 4 Master Sword spins. Takes him out, gets his Bottle Fairy. So yeah, Haha doing the these Misery Mire dark rooms are the hardest dark rooms in the game. Arguably outside of Aga's Tower, which we really don't have any good reason to go in there without the lamp.
No,
So he's through the first 2 now, and this one's an easy one. And then they'll be back into the light. But yeah, really good execution for Haha, even attempting these without the lamp. I definitely have to practice these.
Yeah, I completely agree, because the other night I watched the Emu Sorter race where she completely tried to blind force her way through Aga Tower and got lost there in the maze, which I can't, props to her for even trying it, because I'd have been lost walking into it. Looks like we're going to see Graveyard Ledge here.
So Haha used up all of his safeties to get through those dark rooms. Not damage boosting himself into the eyes here. A wise precaution. Without arrows, he's also going to have to be careful doing the eye here with swords. We see bombs on Graveyard Ledge. What a disappointment.
Makes me what kind of person was demented enough to hide those in a Graveyard Ledge. And just picking up a piece of heart there as we head over into King's Tomb there for Trident.
That is 3 crystals done for Haha. Finally going to get out of the mire area. If he really hates himself, then he'll be going to Ice Palace.
That's what I figured. I thought he was going to come up to Death Mountain because he can do the dark side of it, since he already did the light side of it, I guess you could say. But he's got that mirror, which gives him access to Hera.
Well, Trident went up to Zora because he got the red mail, so he knows that the ice rod's up there. I don't think Haha ever went up to the Zora area. I see, because he's still wearing the blue. So he might go into Turtle Rock trying to find the ice rod. Probably not the end of the world, because being a pendant, he's not going to actually have to clear it. All of this, of course, I meant after he gets his Tower of Hera Crystal. That should have been assumed, implied.
Completely agree there, but we'll see what he does, because he's still got he's got the hammer, so he can do a fairly decent check on the Dark Death Mountain there and get to the right or east side, whatever you want to call it, and clear out most of that minus a full clear of Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, I don't think there's a good reason to go into Turtle Rock. I mean, even if you can at this point, I don't like. Maybe you go in. At most, you're missing out on the green pendant and the Trinex item without having the ice rod. But I think you'd probably dip Palace of Darkness. You'd full clear ice before you go into Turtle Rock. I don't know. It's debatable.
It depends on where the flippers are, I guess, really, and how comfortable they are with sequence breaking.
Yeah, Ice Palace isn't going to have your flippers, but it could definitely have your bow, and that might let you clear Palace of Darkness a little easier, that could have your flippers. Not bow locked, but they could still be in there.
Yeah, which would be definitely interesting to see how it turns out here. Because I foresee, like I said, I think Haha's going to go to Eastern Death Mountain here, then hit up the Dark World after his Trollborn kill here.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's only 3 items he's going to be able to pick up, though, without the hook shot. So hopefully we'll find the hook shot.
And no troll for the one today, as he goes down quickly with 2 spins.
Actually, this is their first visit to East Death Mountain at all, isn't it? They weren't up here at all.
No, because when Haha came up here earlier, he didn't have a way to access it because he didn't have the mirror.
No mirror. Okay, yeah. So this is. I was thinking just Super Bunny and then the first item in Hookshot Cave, but yeah, you're right. There's the Spiral Cave, the 7 items in Paradox Cave. Absolutely, that changes everything. I thought they were already up here. That's what happens when you watch too many races.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's when you know the races are starting to blend together.
Yeah, who tried it, almost lost his purple chest there. So good trick to know. Anybody who ever has that happen to them, if you pick up a bomb or a Samaria block, you can walk through your portal, and you won't take the portal. That'll let you get your chest if you drop it too close, like Trident did.
And we find one of the most useful items in the game of the magic powder.
And I will totally agree with that without the sarcasm. I love the powder. You get infinite health in almost any Dark World dungeon.
I completely agree. I'm still too noobish not to be able to run without dark powder. And then there's always the checks that you can make with it there in the Powder Bat Cave.
So has Trident done anything other than picking up the silvers, which don't really make that much of a time difference? What has he done that Haha hasn't? The Zora area? Anything else?
The Zora area is the only thing I can think of. He checked Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, but nothing turned up from there. So pretty much all of it's been Haha finding it and Trident catching up so far. And Haha's opening up Turtle Rock. I don't know why yet.
Well, you always open it because you have to open it in the light world, and there's a full magic refill in Super Bunny Cave. So opening it at least makes sense, but whether he goes in or not, he hasn't found anything that makes it a great play. I would call it a gamble at this point.
I agree, but it is one of the few caves that have a number of items left, since Swamp isn't available quite yet because we don't have flippers. And the number of items in Swamp, or with including Mimic Cave, I want to say is 7.
What, in Turtle Rock? You said
Yeah.
Swamp and Mimic Cave.
Well, Swamp is another big item play that you could do, but we don't have access to. Getting trolled by the jelly there. But without having access to Swamp, Turtle Rock is one of the bigger collection of items that you could do, even though it's a slower dungeon.
Well, yeah, there's 5 items in Turtle Rock, 6 in Mimic Cave, and a 7th if you include the green pendant, but which we know he's not going to be able to get because we know where the ice rod is.
Yeah, unless he does a water walk, which I don't foresee him doing anytime soon. But it looks like we are going to get a dip in here.
Well, if the flippers are in here and the green pendant is required, then this is yet another mandatory double dip.
I agree. So let's see what we can find out progression-wise here in this, because he won't be able to do the right room given the fact, well, no, he could, just he'd have to do the longer room. I take that back.
Yeah, I love this. I mean, it's not good for the runners, but when they go the wrong way here, thinking that they have the hook shot and they have to make that, you know, that long trip, but Haha makes the correction, which disappoints me. That's good for him.
Well, this is how I learned how to do Turtle Rock eventually, because I didn't know about using hook shot. So in my original vanilla run through, I did it this way.
Nobody would ever think to do that hook shot if they hadn't seen someone else do it. I mean, like, I guess the first person, but nobody else.
Yeah, but that first person that was doing it was trying to find a quicker way to get through there. Ooh, cape and the big key.
So we saw a bumper ledge, and it wasn't anything important, I believe.
I want to say it was just cash.
It could have been a lot of stress as well. Who knows?
It wasn't a very big item. It was something that you could easily keep moving on without.
So Haha is going to be able to clear all the way up to the end of Laser Bridge.
Well, Trident goes ahead and picks up their second crystal. Looks like they'll be heading into Mire here shortly.
So Trident may want to postpone Mire. You know, without having the lamp, that's a difficult dark room. We saw how much trouble Haha had with it. You know, unless Trident is really comfortable with it, it's absolutely reasonable to come back to that later.
I completely agree, because those dark rooms sometimes, if you're not a top tier runner that knows that like the back of their hand, it can be a difference maker in races. As we see Trident fluting out, so it looks like he'll come back later. And just we see him skip right up to the Dark Mountain.
Whoops.
Oops. Ooh, and the bow!
Trident super sped his way directly into a cave.
Ironically, that's the cave you come out of when you do the sneak through behind the old man. But we did get, like I said, the bow and the vanilla big key chest there in Turtle Rock. So Turtle Rock dip is mandatory.
Indeed. That's going to make Pod full clearable. You know, you can't say for certain whether runners are comfortable with dark rooms until you actually see how they perform, but if Haha was comfortable doing the Mire one, then I'm confident saying he's fine doing Pod, especially with the fire rod for the turtle room.
Yeah, I agree with you. If Haha can do Mire, they've gotten Pod down to a science, I'm sure. So they would breeze right through that.
Yeah, and you know, there are general rules. Like if you're doing a 5-0 race, you know, you can say the runners are confident with all the dark rooms. You don't even have to wait and see what they're doing. If you're doing an 0-4 race, you can say, well, the runners probably would be better off with the lamp. But in the middle here, you have to wait and see.
Yeah, to each runner would be very different to tell, so you can't say one way or the other. But with Haha already, like we've said, clearing Mire, it would probably be no big issue for him. Outside of the bow, I haven't seen any big progress here in Turtle Rock yet, but bow is very much needed. But Haha doesn't have the silvers yet.
Yeah, this next chest is going to be a key, and then there's going to be one key on Laser Bridge, so there's at most 3 items that he can get to. I wasn't counting how many dungeon items he got.
I'm not sure either. I know he's collected at least the big key and the map, but I want to say he's picked up the compass, so I think you're right. It'll be 3 more items and a small key.
And flippers could be back here. The only thing that we can say absolutely will not be back here is the lamp, because he just passed through a dark room to get here.
And the ice rod, since we know where that is.
Yes, I meant of the items we don't know about already.
Fair enough. I guess that should have gone without saying, but I'm just that kind of little guy.
Yeah, I didn't say the bow could be back here either.
Well, we already had the bow, so we didn't need to say that.
Exactly.
And our last treasure chest holds just bombs.
Triple boom.
And I foresee him going ahead and fluting over. Oh, no, where is he going? Is he going to finally check Zora?
Doing a quick graveyard lit. Not graveyard lit. Quick King's Tomb here.
Yeah, I forgot he hadn't done King's Tomb there, so that would definitely nice little quick knockout. But unfortunately, no big see there. Oh, looks like we're going to see Powder or the Mad Batter pop up.
And so we do not yet know where the lamp is. Both runners have done a couple dark room sequence breaks, but none of the sequence breaks they've done has led to any progression items that we could use to deduce where the lamp would be. They got up to Death Mountain using the flute. The bow was in Turtle Rock, but it was before the lamp lock sections. So it could be a lot of places still.
We know it can't be on the yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be a pedestal. It can't be on Trinex. It can't be on Armos. You know, there's a few places that we know it can't be.
Yeah, and we know it's not in Skull Woods because Trident's already cleared that out.
Yeah, it might be in ice if we find the flippers beforehand. We don't know. It could be in swamp. Same thing. It could be in swamp if we find the flippers before. I don't know where Haha is going now.
Almost looks like he's setting up for a
T45?
swamp?
No, he wouldn't do swamp.
Well, he could do the good part of it minus the back without the hook shot, but you're right.
He can't do any without the flippers.
Oh, true. I completely forgot that the flippers weren't found yet. So weird not having them by now.
Yeah, I guess a pyramid catfish check.
And he'll probably link that in with Zora and whatnot also, since he's in that area.
Yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense. He'll be able to get the Zora item, and he'll learn about the ice rod, but won't be able to get the waterfall items. But I still think that makes sense, though. If he were going to go to Catfish, that would make sense. And he could save and quit, but just going to run over to Pod.
Yeah, he's making a liar out of us and going and doing crystal instead. Which seems to be on par for Haha, is getting the crystals knocked out and then doing everything else later.
Yeah, the only reason I thought that he was going to do Catfish was I thought if he was headed for Pod, he would have fluted to 5 first, and then like check Pyramid afterwards, maybe. But they both work.
Yeah, that's what I would have figured. But hey, you know, let's go ahead and get extorted by the monkey.
So Trident also going into Turtle Rock. he already cleared the Dark World areas, so the only reason to mirror there would be if he wants to go in.
If nothing else, Trident will pick up his bow, so he will probably follow Haha and going into pod afterwards. So seems to be a little bit of game of follow the leader right now.
Yeah, pod definitely feels like a gamble, even more so for knowing where the flippers are, but I'm really surprised to see either of them go into Turtle Rock before at least making a dip in the pod, especially Trident, knowing where the ice rod is. But it'll pay off for him. That's my favorite bonk there in pod.
And let's go ahead and keep progging through here as Trident makes his way to the normal big key area, Vanilla and Turtle Rock, and Haha does it in pod. That's an interesting sequence. Oh wait, that's not Vanilla for big key. I completely lost my mind.
It was on the pod side.
Yeah, I know, but I said for Trident also, but then I quickly remembered the big key is normally in that lava section with all the tubes that you bonk your head off of.
But this is where the actual big key was, though, so we'll give you partial credit.
Yeah, I'll take that.
So there's only one more pod chest that can have the lamp. One of those had to be a key.
And here we go with one of the simpler. Oh, that's not something I normally see, but it works completely.
So it'll be interesting to see if Trident mirrors out once he finds his bow. That he might not want to do even the Turtle Rock Dark Room without a lamp. It is on rails, and you can memorize the pattern, but if you get lost, it can be a little bit hard to get back on track.
Yeah, I've seen that happen even to a runner like Christos, who was doing a randomizer, and it threw him completely for a loop because he was trying to find the key in there, and it was on one of the random ledges that you don't normally go to.
I've never seen anybody run from the bunny beam as much as Trident did. That was great.
And it still wound up catching him too. That's the sad part about it. Alright, so where are we going? I guess Trident's gonna do that room. And triple bomb over there on pod, so nothing big in pod.
I don't know what Trident's doing. I mean, he pulled out his red potion, but he also looked like he intentionally took damage. But he skipped anti-fairing all the fairies. So I'm not sure what he's thinking.
Yeah, I'm just as much of a loss as you are right there, because it got me confused. I thought he was gonna revive and go in, but then he just sat there with the red potion. So, that's a bad death. Because you were just about to walk outside. Oh, he's got a fairy, never mind.
So, nothing in Palace of Darkness, unless I missed something.
Well, looking over the tracker, I didn't see anything significant pop up there. So I'm gonna go with you and say there wasn't anything there. So looks like we'll be doing a Eastern check after this, most likely.
Did they dip in the Eastern at all? Like early game?
I'm trying to remember, and I can't remember. I want to say no, but I'm sure I'll be proven wrong.
I think that one of them, at least one of them, checked Eastern. Yeah. They got everything, or there was an item on Armos. Yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you. I was talking about, yeah, Haha had the boots, so he was doing all the spin speeds off the pedestal and everything. All right, yeah, okay. Thank you, guys. So they got all the items, so there's no reason to go in except he wants the pendant. So Eastern would not be a good play then.
Okay, I'm glad someone was able to remember that, because my horrible memory does not.
I didn't remember that. I had chat open on my other screen.
That's why we have chat there to save us when we fail.
Yeah, tracker saves us, and then chat saves the tracker. We got this nice little pyramid worked out. with commentators on the bottom of that pyramid, just to be clear. Chat is at the top. Alright, well, I don't know where you go at this point, because without flippers, you're not getting into Swamp Palace or Ice Palace, logically. What's even open to you? We've seen Blacksmith's Chain, we've seen everything in the Zora area. I don't think they're gonna go to Ice Palace. It doesn't make sense to sequence break Ice Palace. Like, you can sequence break it, and you could find the hookshot in there, but you're not gonna. You could find the lamp in there, but they're done all the dark rooms, so they don't care about the lamp at this point. I mean, Trident still does, but Ha doesn't care about the lamp. So,
Pyramid Fairy, that would definitely be an interesting to see what pops up.
Pyramid Fairy is one. Flippers can't be pedestal because Ice Rod is flipper blocked, and that eliminates Turtle Rock. That's the only item that they would. I mean, Hookshot could be on the pedestal, logically.
I think that's the only thing left that can logically be on the pedestal.
Yeah. Flippers can't be ped because the Ice Rod would be needed to kill Trinex, and that is on the Zora's River Ledge. So they cannot be on there.
And just a shield there, so it's not even there. Where, oh where is this thing at?
Yeah, I mean, I know there's locations that each of the runners haven't individually checked. I'm trying to think of which locations that collectively we haven't yet seen.
And that is a good question. That's what I'm trying to figure out also, because we know Trident's been out to this area already, which is where he's going. It's like the only ones missing are the fetch quests that we don't have yet.
So no, I don't think Spike Cave. They don't have any invincibility items. Oh, they got the cape. I don't know when they got the cape. Oh, that was in Turtle Rock. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Spike Cave and Hera Basement. That actually would be a pretty good combo if they think of it.
Yeah, but I thought they got both of the items out of Hera.
Chat says that there's still an item in Hera.
Well, I'll go with chat because they're smarter than I.
Entrance Death Rock in Dark World. I don't even know what you're referring to. There's Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave in Dark World, and then there's Paradox Cave in the Light World on Eastern. Is that what you were thinking of, Kingdo?
And Trident having all sorts of troll problems there with that hard hat.
So picking up his red mill here. That's nice. I mean, 15 hearts gives you the 60 heart green mail equivalent, which is always fun. Looks like looks like.
No,
oh no, he's bringing out his flute. He's got his flute out. I was gonna say Hera basement, but no.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna do Spike Cave also, but no, he's making a fool out of both of us. Looks like Skull Woods it is.
Well, he hasn't done Graveyard Ledge. He did King's Tomb in the Light World. So this will be his first Graveyard Ledge check. So that's fine for him. And he also hasn't cleared Skull Woods. So there's a couple things. Like I said, we've been talking about things that we collectively know about, but Haha still has a couple places that he can go. Bumper Ledge. He hasn't done Bumper Ledge. We saw that on Trident's side only. So Trident skipped the Dark Maze in Pod then, is that right? Because he has 2 keys. I'm guessing he skipped Dark Maze.
Yeah, he did.
Alright, so I guess he feels comfortable enough to do the Turtle Room with the Fire Rod, but not the Dark Maze completely dark.
Just an interesting thing. Let's see where the progression is here, because we're getting down to a few areas I can't. Something's got to be up there on Death Mountain. I'm going with it.
Yeah, I think between us and chat, we've narrowed it down to the Hera basement or the Spike Cave. And that could be, let's see, Hookshot wouldn't open up anything. Well, okay, all right, so if Hera Basement or Spike Cave, those are our 2 locations. If Hookshot's there, that opens up 3 more spots in Hookshot Cave. If Book is there, it opens up 2 tablets. Flippers opens up, obviously, that's the progression that we're looking for. Lamp at this point doesn't open up anything. It could be one of those 2, but we would still need the other one to be Hookshot, Book, or Flippers.
Or
it has to be.
It could be, a sequence fetch quest of a shovel to a mushroom to one of those, which I'm sure chat's going nuts about right now.
No, they've been restrained. You can. It could be shovel or mushroom, but the fetch quest items that lead to one item, I just kind of skip that step, and you're still getting Hookshot or Flippers, just one level removed.
Yeah, fair enough, but it's always interesting to see the sequence creativity that chat comes up with. There's Trident headed out to now.
I think Trident is gonna try to find his next progression item in Mire. There are, 2 items that could potentially be in Mire. What's he doing? He's trying to find his murder dactyl, just in case. I don't know. There's 2 items that could be in here before the dark room. And one of those could be the lamp. I mean, we know it's not, but it could be.
Yeah, it was just interesting watching him try to mentally play that out in his head, running around in circles.
I guess he doesn't want to take the gamble. It'd be really neat if he's the first one to do Spike Cave and Hera Basement. That would let him catch up some valuable time.
Yeah, but first it looks like he's going to do the Mad Batter, which unfortunately isn't going to be the progression he's looking for.
Well, this is still good for Trident overall. Haha is essentially just doing things that Trident's already done at this point. So all of this is a little bit of his lead that he's given away.
And Mothula is burnt to crisp and done for the day, as he picks up his fairy bottle. Where's Trident off to now? Is he gonna check the Spike Cave? Where do you go?
Well, given his aversion to the dark rooms, I think that a Spike Cave and Hera Basement check would make a lot of sense for him. I mean, they're the easiest locations for him to check. If he's heading into the swamp, though, forgetting he doesn't have the flippers, though, that's going to be a big disappointment. And trying to run through the water there, I think he just realized he doesn't have flippers.
Well, at least he figured it out before he opened up Swamp then. Well, we're going back to Light World. Where to now, Trident?
Nice bomb jump from Haha there. Did it without the boots. So got the 2-pixel precision.
Oh, looks like we might see it. Both runners are up here on deck. Oh, no. Haha's pulling out the flute.
Yeah, you can't even get to the first chest in Swamp without the flippers. You can get to the first chest in Swamp without the hammer. That's the play that you're probably thinking of. We got some nice sync here after an hour of diversions.
And since they're both in it at the same time, it's not really going to give one or the other really a lead here. But it looks like Haha's going to get it a little bit quicker because he picked up that spin speed. Oh, we're going into basement. So
well,
I remember.
Haha is still 2 crystals ahead. So, I mean, Trident eventually has to go back and do Mire and Pod. But this does get him going in the right direction.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I was just meaning in the progression of this, it doesn't really give either of these two.
Whoops.
As we get an accidental mirror.
I love that. That's great.
Can't say how many. It looks like Trident is setting up for the coffee break. Here we go. Oh, they're both setting up for it.
Haha, coffee break, attempt number 2.
Yeah, but unfortunately he got knocked off though, so they both are off. Never mind.
And there's a 50% chance that this is a progression item, with the other one being Spike Cave.
So let's figure out what it is. Hook shot? Or flippers? What's your bet?
Oh, I'm gonna say hook shot. And this would be a shame too, because they both had a fire source when they came up here.
And it's a heart, so Spike Cave it is.
And this is really, really bad for Haha, because he tried to do this earlier and just didn't have enough health. Even used his red potion trying to get here. So he's gonna feel really frustrated picking up those flippers.
Oh, I'm certain. Let's see how many swashes we get. Oh, no. Keeping it true professional. Good for you, haha.
Well, at this point, I think you just go full clear swamp, full clear ice. Ice first, because you want to find the hook shot for swamp.
Yeah. So, completely agree with you on that one. I guess he's gonna go get the ice rod.
Well, this makes sense, because he hasn't been able to check the waterfall items. So if the hook shot's here, then he can go mode ice and swamp. I mean, from his point of view, is
yeah,
it's not there.
Completely. Looks like Trident's gonna make that gamble and head in straight into swamp, since that's where they headed to directly.
Yeah, ice is the better play. You can find something in ice that will make swamp go easier, but there's nothing you can find in swamp that will make ice go easier. Hookshot being the item in this case.
The only difference is go moding, I'm sorry, I guess you would say. But it's the same for go moding swamp, but go moding swamp is a lot nicer.
You're going to save about 2 minutes in either dungeon. But for Trident, this play actually does make a little bit more sense, because I was just going to say he's still looking for the lamp as well, and he finds the lamp.
Yeah, so both of our players are going to get the lamp, but I was probably going to be like, well, never mind, didn't need that. I'm already done with all those.
Yeah, my thinking was that lamp tends to hide in swamp quite a bit, and if you come in here with the goal of, like, I'm going to do a full clear, I'm looking for the lamp, the book, the hook shot, like I'm looking for enough things anyway, then you're committing to the left side swamp without the hook shot isn't that big a deal.
Yeah, I completely agree. And still just progressing through, nothing really of note, minus the lamp that Trident's picked up, which will help him out with his dark rooms that he skipped.
So if Trident doesn't find the hook shot here, I think the most likely play is that he'll go do Pod and Misery Mire, finish those off before looking anywhere else. What do you think?
Well, he's been making a bit of bug net, so swag strats are enabled. I agree with you on that one, because he's probably going to try to get those crystals, because I'm sure he's feeling that he's behind by now if he has any knowledge of how Haha plays.
Well, he's going to want the crystals, and he also could be hoping to find the hook shot, in Misery Mire, or the Dark Mason Pod.
Yeah, completely true. Even though, unfortunately, we know it's not the right play, he doesn't yet.
So good question from chat. Where can the hook shot be? Well, if Swamp Palace is a crystal dungeon, then the hook shot has to be somewhere other than the back half of Swamp. You need Swamp in order to get to the back and to defeat Argus. if Swamp Palace is a pendant, then the only thing in the entire game that you absolutely need hookshot for is getting across the gap in Ganon's Tower after you defeat Moldorm 2. If you're one of the few runners that can actually hover, a very difficult and advanced strat, then you could theoretically do the game without the hookshot altogether.
But with these runners here, I kind of don't foresee either one of them hovering since we haven't seen any attempts at that yet. But they could always surprise us.
And speaking of surprises, Trident finds the hookshot in the last possible chest it could be in within this dungeon. So he can now full clear it.
Right on. Let's go Trident.
And that also does officially put Pedestal Dreams down. Pedestal's dead.
Sorry, chat, but rip Pedestal, and it looks like I don't foresee anything, so it looks like Trident's gonna go mode ice once he remembers to pick up this key over here in the corner.
Yeah, he's got the lamp, which is what he needs for his remaining dark rooms. He doesn't have the ice rod, but he's not going to have to go back into Turtle Rock. So, yes, Trident is in go mode at the 129-ish, or whenever he picked up that hook shot.
I guess.
So, Haha, coming back in here for his last item in ice. So Trident is behind on dungeons, but he's not gonna. What he missed in Pod was he didn't do the Dark Maze, which he's not gonna have to. He just needs to find the big key, and then he'll be able to complete that. Same thing with Misery Mire. Once he finds the big key, I don't remember where it was in that dungeon, but if it wasn't too deep in the dungeon, he'll be able to just go and defeat the boss. He's got everything else he wants. He's got silvers, he's got tempered, red mail. So he can definitely make up some time despite being behind. He'll be able to go mode ice, dungeon that we see Haha full clearing as we speak. His route definitely paid off for him.
Completely agree with that, because we'll see some definite pickup here once he gets past the Argus.
Yeah, everything Haha is doing at the moment is things that Trident is going to skip. I mean, he's not going to full clear ice, let alone do it in a double dip. So Maxi Mini, can you give? Never mind, you just did it.
And we see Trident headed straight over this Ice Palace. Ooh, and we pick up a book, which is not good for Haha, because he'll probably start doing some fetch quests, which isn't going to help him.
I can absolutely see him checking Ether before diving into Swamp. Maybe, and definitely checking Bombos before diving into Swamp as well, looking for the hook shot.
Yeah, and it looks like we got Hobo popping up here, so it's all stuff that Trident's already completed, and so it just helps him catch up a little bit more.
Yeah, it's impossible to say at this point because no one has a clear lead. You could say a little while ago that Haha was probably, had a decent lead with 2 dungeons obviously completed, but Trident picking up the hookshot in Swamp, and also picking up the lamp, which is an item that he personally needed for progression, you know, really let him make up a lot of time. So it's back to neck and neck.
It just depends on how much more stuff Haha's gonna clear here before dipping into Swamp.
Yeah, and I mean Trident's the one that's in go mode at the moment.
So everything Haha does that Trident didn't just gives him more of a chance to catch up. And the longer it takes him to get in the go mode also is gonna bring this race closer.
The Bombos check absolutely makes sense. Before going into Swamp, skipping Ether is, as long as he skips Ether, this isn't too much of a time loss. Trident pulling off that bomb jump successfully, first try there, definitely indicates that he is go moding this dungeon.
We've seen him skip a couple of the chests already while we were watching Haha clean up some things real quick. But he'll definitely catch up on a few of those crystals pretty quick here.
Yeah, Haha has to full clear Swamp because the hookshot was the last item on left side. So not going to be able to go mode Swamp. Trident, you know, right about the head and the cold stare here. Haha is still going to be ahead by maybe a dungeon, because he'll be able to do Swamp before Trident can do both Mire and Palace of Darkness, but probably about a dungeon ahead.
And we see Haha picking up the lamp, which could come into play during Ganon's tower, but I think that's about all it's going to do for him now, as we're getting ready for Cold Story to be evaporated by Trident.
That's a good point. No dark rooms in Ganon's tower, but definitely a few places where the reduced magic consumption of lamp versus fire rod can make a big difference, especially without half magic, which neither runner's picked up. It's a nice cold stare fight from Trident. Hopefully he'll so he just has to move on to Pod and Mire and go mode both of them. Like I said, I don't remember where the big keys. I don't know if does he have the Pod big key already, or is he still looking for that? He finished.
I think he's already got it, but I would need to double check, which I couldn't remember.
Well, he was at the big key door with 2 keys. And then he didn't want to proceed into the dark rooms, but I don't know. I think he has it and then just didn't want to do the dark rooms and mirrored.
I think you're right on that, and that's probably why he's going to do Mire first, because he knows he can clean up Potter very, very quickly, having everything.
If the Mystery Mire big key is deep in the dungeon, I mean, you know, chat knows where it is, but we both forgot. If it's deep in the dungeon, it's going to slow him down. But if it's an early big key, then this will be a really fast dungeon. Is this optimal? Is the big key early in this one? Well, go mode Mire is absolutely what Trident needs at this point. He needs a key on the bridge or on the invisible chest, and then he'll just be able to just blaze through this.
I want to say it was one of those 2 spots, but I can't remember.
Oh, first one, Godmire.
Yep. Yep. Too bad he didn't know how to hover because he had to cross that spot.
Yeah, well, he just has to pick up the small key, and then he'll be good to go. Haha is picking up his last chest here, so he'll be in go mode in just a minute. Trident finishing up Meyer just as Haas is finishing up Swamp, so it'll just be the time it takes him to clear pod.
Ooh, and tragically he jumped down the same side twice there, so it takes Haha just a little bit longer to get his hook shot.
Good for Trident. We're at the phase where seconds count.
Completely agree. Makes this run more interesting and a lot more interesting for chat, if nothing else.
Trident successfully remembering that he doesn't need to hit that switch block. Something that a lot of people mistake. And go mode 1 hour 40 minutes 35-ish seconds.
So about a complete 11 minutes behind. My timing's correct. So it's just been a catch up since then. But the biggest difference being that this is Haha's last dungeon, so pretty shortly here we will see the game kicking off. And Atreus is going to go a lot quicker for Trident also, given the fact he already had those silvers before coming in here.
So hopefully Maximini will be willing to run that game for us. The bot's working. When the what's up, you're welcome to explain it when the time comes.
I will most certainly do that. Once we see Haha get into this, I will begin explaining it.
Aw, I wanted to see Haha get those 2 chests.
I was wondering, I was like, what is he looking at here? But then he remembered he is in go mode and he straight on out. So let's go ahead and get back into this.
Alright.
As Trident goes over to do pod.
Yeah, Vitreous not a long fight with silvers. Trident on his way to his last dungeon.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's going to go straight to the Hahasell King, so he won't be too far behind Haha here. But as soon as one of these runners gets it, most likely will be Haha. We'll begin our game for our guessing game that we enjoy playing here. It's a guessing between 1 and 22, which is what number you believe the big key and Gannon's Tower will take. If you are a subscriber or donate at least 250 bits to any of the speed gaming channels, you will be able to be joined as part of our leaderboard. And as that goes off, here's Haha starting that game up. So hopefully we'll get that. And you have until we enter Gannon's Tower, until we stop the guessing. Only thing left is, what is your guess normally, Q?
So, I don't see anyone started, I'll start it.
Is the bot not working?
No, I just no one started it. So it's running now.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
My guess. Well, you know what? I see Vitasia pick 9, so I'm gonna pick 8.
Ooh, straight up Price is Right style there.
I'm in a direct competition with Vitasia on the commentator leaderboards. So.
Gotcha. Well, I will go with my normal 13, even though last time I commentated, 13 popped up, so it's not likely to happen. But let's see what happens today. Though that Price is Right cut is just hilarious to me.
So I'm unsure about Trident's key situation here. He doesn't have a small key. I guess he got far enough in the dark sequence to have consumed that small key. I forget at which point he mirrored out.
Well, I saw the big key there when he changed over to the thing, so he's got it. I want to say he got, yeah, he's been through here because that's open. Where did he stop? I can't remember.
Probably the turtle room here.
I thought he cleared that with the fire rod, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But he's going to clear it this time anyway. Chest 1, half magic. Chest 2, 10 arrows. Mirroring back, and we're going to go left side. Oh, that lamp doesn't become as much valuable as needed now. Oh, there goes Bob, since we just picked up that key, sadly.
So, having a nice Hahasell fight here. Much easier for Trident to get there with the lamp. Didn't have any trouble this time with the turtles.
Completely agree. 4 50 rubies, 5 small key, 6 a small key, and 7 a big heart. And if anyone thinks I skipped one, it's because the lamp in there does count as one of the chest pickups.
So I love the instant kill of those Stalfos with the ether.
That is a technique you don't see too often, so it's nice to see the change up in techniques.
So, come on, number 8. Come on, number 8. Oh, shovel! What?
There we go. Cannon Big T is in the shovel spot. That's where it is. Okay, now all you have to do is hope that it's not 9 and Vitasia.
Yes, as long as it's not 9, then I'm okay. Because it's just me versus the Vitasia, not me versus the game.
Exactly.
So I like this decision from Trident. Wisely picking up a safety potion before heading up to GT. Always a smart idea.
Ooh, and it's number 9, so...
Freaking...
Vitasia picks one up on you there. Though I think it's going to be a moment before Chiru comes back, because he's got
really
a vent.
pains me to type this in, but... There we go. And the first summer supporter to guess correctly was Vitasia.
I understand if you need to take a break and walk away for a moment.
It's like I'm trying to like think of a rhythm here. It's like, do you want to play the chest game? Which number do you think it will be?
Man, I didn't know Dr. Bob-tastic jumped in here real quick.
That's Vitasia's thing.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, Vitasia does. Do you want to do a fetch quest? I keep confusing the two back and forth.
You pick number 9, and you win.
Always gotta love Vitasia's fetch quest song. Or the modification trope for Chiru here for Canon Big Key quest.
Hey, I'm not a sore loser. GG, you know, I'm all for the GGs. Oh, yeah. I didn't do the save.
Oh, yeah. Make sure you save it so he can't say that you are being a sore loser and not giving him the points.
I got my consolation shovel.
Hey, you got a fetch quest, which could lead to the mushroom. That's about the only thing I can think of being still missing.
Probably just a arrow upgrade or something.
Yeah, no. The only things we're really missing is butter and mushroom. Everything else is accounted for. Ooh, and Trident going straight left, not even messing with it, so he will catch up just a wee bit there.
Yeah, he did check the Hope Room, so he got his half magic.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Making the same route that Haha made. This will be number 9 for him as well.
Ooh, unfortunate fall off there, which looks like something I would do, because I've done it several times, sadly.
So not a bad gap at all, given the fact that Trident had the double dip 2 dungeons that Haha was able to full clear. Learning those dark rooms, guys, it's difficult, but really, and it's never required by the seed. But if you're able to do it, it can definitely give you a leg up.
Completely agreed there. And because Trident did do a stun lock, we got to see that the bombs were the stun prize on that one. So that's rather interesting from the earlier part of the game.
Did we just find the stun prize?
Yes, we found the stun prize was an 8-bomb drop.
Oh wow. They could have done that pretty early.
Yeah, I know, which we were commenting on, but no one ever took advantage of it. Though I think Trident kept stunning people with the boomerang.
Yes, absolutely. I remember that. He kept stunning them and never killed them. It was driving me crazy. I was like, what's the stun prize?
Well, now we know what the stun prize is, and it would have helped them, but it doesn't do much good now.
So Ha having a very nice agag. That was either a double or a triple. Couldn't quite tell.
That last one was a double because one of them was a blue ball.
Oh, was it? All right.
Yeah, it was a blue ball with a regular one there.
They kind of like all hit at once, and I'm gonna blame low resolutions stream.
Okay, we'll take it. I'll allow it.
Oh, that Spike ate the arrow. That's not fair.
I've unfortunately seen that happen way too many times during this tournament, is that Spike eating arrows.
Well, Haha into his Ganon. Tempered Sword here, so we're looking at the 12/6 spins for each of the first 2 phases. Excellent position to be in, though. Got the silvers.
As we see, Haha go ahead and take care of that magic to do some safety strats with the cape.
Yeah, I don't know if he, I don't think he loaded up any extra potions. I know he used at least his red on that first Spike Cave attempt, but with half magic, you can spare some for the cape.
Well, as he did his his item transition there, I saw he does have a blue potion, so he would have been good had he not just knocked down the big pig and roasted up some bacon for everyone.
Yeah, that was excellent positioning. Just don't fall off the ledge here, and he's gonna win. With a time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 38 seconds. Drops Haha into the 3-3 bracket. Get your GGs in chat, guys.
Yes, very much GG, Haha. See if he'll come in shortly for commentator interview.
So, welcome to the chat, Hahasell. GG, congratulations on first.
Yo, thanks. That was quite the seed.
Completely agreed. Again, GG. What were your thoughts on it aside from quite the seed?
I mean, honestly, I was never gonna go to Swamp Palace. Even if I had gotten flippers early on with Spike Cave, like there was just no freaking way. So, that was a big one. I don't know, just items were placed in such random spots, I felt like. But then again, it wouldn't really be Randomizer without that, would it?
Completely correct, because we were sitting there wondering where the progression was going to be when you guys both went to Hera Basement, and it wound up being in Spike Cave. That was interesting.
Yeah, you made that early Spike Cave attempt. Didn't quite have enough health there.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I just misjudged how much health you need for it, or what items you need necessarily. Because I thought it was like, I mean, you usually need 14 hearts normally. And I had a red potion at the time and 8 hearts, but I think I went in a little low, so that might have been why that happened.
I do think you were down to like 4 or 5 when you went in there. That would have been a really, really fortuitous sequence break if you had picked up the flippers that early into the game.
Yeah, I think so. I probably would have given... That's the thing with going into Swamp without hookshot, though. Like, you still don't know if you're going to make that gamble or not and bet that it's going to be there, so... I don't know. I don't know how much it would have honestly changed in my routing.
Well, maybe not your routing per se, but you probably would have ended up skipping a lot of the overworld checks later in the game, you know, during the hunt for the flippers. So.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
But either way, it was a good race. Looks like we're probably only seeing maybe like a 5 or 6 minute difference here between you guys. It was close for a long time. One of the biggest differences was that you were able to knock out those dark rooms without the lamp. Did have a little trouble in Mire. Are those rooms that you've practiced a lot?
Yeah, I've practiced most of the dark rooms. Lately, that dark room with the moving spike has been giving me trouble. So I need to go back and do that. But otherwise, I mean, I feel like I executed them pretty well, just overall.
Agreed, because that seemed to be the one that you had the biggest time on there, was the spike one getting in your way and whatnot. But though I'm sure my commentator here, her partner Tiru, would have wished you would have went a different direction to offset where you found the big key, because he's not happy it went to Vitasia.
Well, that was just a little side bet thing, but yeah, finding the key that early, that was nice. You really had everything you needed. A sword upgrade at that point wouldn't really have made any significant difference. Yeah,
I was just glad that I had Tempered Sword at that point. I was expecting to go in with Master Sword and just have to deal with it, but Tempered's always nice. It was convenient that it was in Checkerboard right before Desert, so...
So what did you think about having to start off with a fire rod and not finding any bombs until after you guys got out of escape?
Honestly, it didn't really shake me or anything. I wasn't too worried about not having bombs, because I knew I could always just go back once I found the glove. I actually almost forgot to go back, and that would have cost me a sword, so I'm glad that it popped into my head at the last second.
What was it you were going to ask there, T-Rick? Because I just mic up.
I was just gonna. I don't really do a lot of interview questions typically. I was just gonna say, moving on to 3-3. It probably feels good to be there, in the middle. At least, average with the potential to be above average.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm just happy, playing week by week. I mean, everyone is guaranteed the 7 matches, so it's a good way to, work on your game and improve and just have a good time, be able to, be a part of the community and contribute.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. We have tridenttail joining us here. tridenttail just finished his official Speed Racing TV time, 1 hour, 59 minutes, 55 seconds. Excellent job, GG.
Thank you.
So you haven't had much time to relax a little bit. Adrenaline's probably still going a little bit high, but we've just been going over general thoughts with Hahasell. How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good, actually. I mean, it's not very often that I get a sub 2 hour time, so, despite losing, I'm still happy with how I played. A little frustrated in parts, but I think I made some plays, like some pretty lucky plays, so it's all good.
Well, I really liked your early late world routing. You picked up the boots there really early, and you were able to get everything in the flute in your initial Kakariko trip.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about the beginning there was I had no magic like the whole time, so the only weapon that I had didn't help, and I wanted to do mini Moldorm Cave, but all I had was bombs and I only had 4, so I was like, I can't afford to miss a bomb throw. So I decided to skip it and then come back to it later, and then I did Eastern and all that, and then ended up coming back to Mini Moldorm, and that's when I found the boots. So I was a little annoyed by that, but it's just the way it works. But yeah, that was kind of an interesting routing. I was like, well, I mean, this is the way I usually go, but the reason why I do this is because you do Mini Moldorm Cave, but I didn't really have an efficient way to do that. So I was like, well, what can I do while I'm down here? And I figured I might as well do all the fake flippering and stuff. And yeah, so it was kind of a weird routing, but I guess it all worked out.
It's frustrating with the sword being in the back of Escape and not being able to pick up a bomb due to limited fire rod access.
Yeah, I figured it just wasn't worth it to try and get a bomb off an enemy. It might as well just save my magic, make sure I get the key, and then always come back to it later. That was kind of my thought process there. I think I had I had about a quarter magic left, so I was like, let's be safe and just not worry about the bomb right now.
Well, both of you guys ended up skipping most of the small magic pots in the Escape sewers, and walked out of there with quite a bit of magic left, rather than farming. So an early bomb there, an early sword, definitely could have made a difference if that second sword hadn't been so readily available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. It was definitely something that I thought about. I knew there was magic pots there, but I actually don't know where they are. I don't know this game very well, to be honest, so I actually didn't know where they were. So instead of trying to pick up every single pot in the sewers looking for magic, I just figured just come back later.
Well, a 6-minute deficit is nothing to be ashamed of. Hahasell was able to do both Dark Mire and Dark Pod, and get both of those dungeons done in a single dip. Neither of you guys ended up progressing, doing a full clear of Turtle Rock. Finding the bow where you guys did worked out really well.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep practicing, and maybe fall tournament you'll have those dark rooms down.
Yeah, I've never done the pod dark room before, but So that was my first time trying it, and I actually got to the end, but I realized that I didn't have the key, and I didn't feel like doing the maze in the dark, so I left. That was one of the rougher moments in the run. Maybe if I routed it a little bit better, it would have been a different story, but it is what it is. Yeah, fall tournament, I'll definitely be back.
Well, one suggestion that I make this to everybody is print out, take the time, print out the maps, or if you have a second monitor, open, keep the dark world, the dark room maps open. Absolutely, you're able to look at notes or maps during the race. It's absolutely allowed to do, and can be very, very valuable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So if no more questions, or any of you guys have any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Not really, just the usual. Thanks to the commentators and the tracker and Speed Gaming staff for taking care of all of the restream stuff. Tournament organizers. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, so thanks for everything.
So?
Yeah, just, well, first off, Swamp Palace strikes again. Second, thank you guys for commentating. Thanks to our tracker. Thanks to just everyone who makes this possible. Thanks to all of you in chat as well for sticking around, listening to us ramble on about our experience with the seed, and GG to my opponent, Tridenttail.
Good game, man.
Well, GG again to both runners. We thank you for volunteering to put on the show for all of us to enjoy. So congratulations again to the two of you. There are links in chat to follow both of the runners. I encourage you guys to do that. Also recommend to everybody, if this is the first time you've seen Randomizer, or if you haven't given it a try for yourself, be sure you do so. It's a lot of fun, and everyone in the tournament, regardless of skill level, got at least 7 races, and it's absolutely a joy to play. You can get started, play yourself, lots of different modes, easier modes, harder modes. So there's something for everybody. My thank you to the Speed Gaming staff for doing the restream, our wonderful tracker, Maxi Mini. Definitely could not do this without the trackers. We live for the trackers. Thanks to Twitch chat for the conversation, all the fun, all the trolls, and keeping us in line. And last but not least, my co-commentator, What's Up. Last word goes to you, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much to you. Again, my name is What's Up. Thank you for being able to be here with the way it does today. Make sure to follow Speed Gaming 1 through 6 and ALTTP Randomizer 1 through 4, and enjoy the rest of the day. Make sure you check out the schedule for any more randomizer activity you want to see today. Thank you.